The year is 1941. Europe is engulfed in the chaos of World War II. Europe trembles under the weight of Nazi Germany's military might. The German war machine seems unstoppable, crushing everything in its path. Hitler, the architect of this conquest, gazes eastward. His ambitions are far from satisfied. His eyes, filled with ambition and ruthlessness, are set on a new target: the Soviet Union. The vast lands and resources of Russia beckon him.
A non-aggression pact signed 2 years prior now means nothing. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, once a symbol of uneasy peace, is now a mere piece of paper.
Hitler's lust for land and resources knows no bounds. His vision of a greater Germany drives him to break treaties and betray allies. He believes in the inherent superiority of the Aryan race, destined to rule over the vast plains of Russia. This ideology fuels his relentless pursuit of expansion. He underestimates the resilience of the Russian people and the harsh realities of the Russian landscape. The brutal winters and vast distances pose challenges he cannot foresee. This fatal miscalculation will seal the fate of the Third Reich. The German army, unprepared for the harsh conditions, will face unimaginable hardships. The stage is set for a clash of ideologies, a titanic struggle between two dictators, and a conflict that will shape the course of the 20th century. The world watches as Hitler's gamble unfolds, a gamble that will determine the future of nations and the lives of millions. June 22nd, 1941. A date that would mark the beginning of one of the most devastating military campaigns in history. Dawn breaks over the Eastern Front, casting a pale light over the vast expanse of land that will soon be engulfed in chaos and destruction. The silence is shattered by the thunder of artillery and the roar of Luftwaffe aircraft. The sky is filled with the ominous sounds of war machines, signaling the start of a relentless assault. Operation Barbarossa, the largest military invasion in human history, has begun. This meticulously planned offensive aims to crush the Soviet Union with unprecedented speed and force.
3 million German soldiers armed with the most advanced weaponry of the age surge across the Soviet border. Their mission is clear: to conquer and dominate. Tanks, the spearhead of the Blitzkrieg, race across the steppes, crushing everything in their path. These armored behemoths are designed for speed and destruction, leaving a trail of devastation.
The Red Army, caught off guard and ill-prepared, reels from the ferocity of the assault. Their defenses crumble under the relentless pressure of the German advance. Soviet soldiers, many barely trained, fight with desperate courage, but they are no match for the German war machine. Their bravery is overshadowed by the sheer power and coordination of the enemy. The initial onslaught is swift and brutal. The German forces advance with a terrifying efficiency, leaving the Soviet Union scrambling to mount a defense against this unprecedented invasion. The Wehrmacht, Hitler's war machine, seems unstoppable. They advance rapidly, capturing vast swaths of Soviet territory. Cities fall, one after another: Minsk, Smolensk, Kiev. The speed and efficiency of the German advance are staggering.
The Luftwaffe rules the skies, raining down bombs on strategic targets and terrorizing the civilian population.
The Red Army, despite its stubborn resistance, is in full retreat, leaving behind a trail of destruction and countless casualties. A sense of euphoria grips the German leadership. Victory seems inevitable, just a matter of time. But they fail to see the storm clouds gathering on the horizon. As the Germans advance deeper into the vast expanse of Russia, they encounter an enemy that refuses to yield. The Red Army, though battered and bruised, is not broken. They fight with the fury of a people defending their homeland.
The scorched earth policy, a brutal but effective tactic, denies the invaders vital resources. Factories are dismantled and moved east. Crops are burned, bridges are demolished. The land itself becomes a weapon against the invaders.
And as the first snowflakes begin to fall, a new and more formidable enemy emerges: the Russian winter.
The German advance stalls at the gates of Moscow.
The capital, bracing for a final showdown, becomes a symbol of Soviet defiance. The Wehrmacht, exhausted and ill-equipped for the bitter cold, is bogged down.
The Red Army, reinforced with fresh troops from Siberia, launches a counter-offensive.
For the first time, the myth of German invincibility is shattered. The invaders are pushed back, suffering heavy losses in the process.
Further south on the banks of the Volga River, another epic battle rages, Stalingrad.
The city, reduced to rubble, becomes a meat grinder for both sides. The fighting is brutal, hand-to-hand, and unforgiving. Section 6. Winter's Fury. The German army bogged down. The Russian winter, a relentless and unforgiving enemy, descends upon the battlefield. Temperatures plummet to unimaginable lows. The German army, unprepared for such extreme conditions, suffers terribly.
Weapons freeze, vehicles stall, frostbite claims countless limbs. The once vaunted German war machine grinds to a halt, paralyzed by the cold.
The Red Army, accustomed to the harsh conditions, uses the winter to their advantage. They launch surprise attacks, ski through the snow-covered forests, and harass the enemy relentlessly. Section 7. Red Army Resurgent, pushing back the invaders. With the coming of spring, the Red Army, revitalized and reinforced, launches a series of offensives. They have learned from their early defeats and now employ new tactics and superior equipment.
The German army, weakened by attrition and demoralized by defeat, is slowly pushed back. Cities are liberated, one after another. The tide of war has turned. The dream of a swift victory in the east lies shattered, buried in the frozen soil of Russia.
Section 8. The Price of Victory. A nation's sacrifice. The road to victory is long and paved with the blood of millions. The Soviet people have endured unimaginable suffering, mass executions, forced labor, starvation. Their cities lie in ruins. Their families are torn apart.
But through it all, their spirit remains unbroken. They have fought with unparalleled courage and determination, driven by a fierce love for their homeland. The victory over Nazi Germany comes at a tremendous cost, but it is a victory for freedom, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit.
Section 9. Legacy of a Failed Invasion. A world transformed. Hitler's gamble has failed. His ambitious plans to dominate Europe and beyond have crumbled under the weight of relentless Allied resistance and strategic miscalculations. His dream of a 1,000-year Reich lies in ruins. The once formidable Nazi war machine is now a shadow of its former self, with its leaders either dead, captured, or on the run. The invasion of the Soviet Union, a colossal blunder, has sealed the fate of Nazi Germany. The harsh Russian winter and fierce Soviet resistance turned the tide, leading to devastating losses for the German forces.
The world emerges from the ashes of war forever changed. Nations come together to rebuild and to ensure that such a conflict never happens again. The formation of the United Nations symbolizes a new era of international cooperation and peacekeeping. The Soviet Union, though victorious, bears the scars of conflict. The immense human and material cost of the war has left deep wounds that will take generations to heal. The Cold War casts a long shadow over global politics. The ideological battle between the East and the West shapes the second half of the 20th century, leading to an arms race and numerous proxy wars.
But amidst the devastation, there is hope. Communities come together to rebuild their lives, and the resilience of the human spirit shines through the darkest times. The defeat of Nazi Germany stands as a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of unity and determination in the face of tyranny. A reminder that even in the darkest of times, tyranny can be defeated and freedom can prevail. The liberation of concentration camps and the joyous reunions of families highlight the triumph of humanity over oppression.